Hey crafters, today I'm showing you how to make this luxurious and intricate Diwali card. I will show you how to start with a JPEG image and turn it into a cut file all within Design Space. I will also show you the contour tool in Design Space. I'll give you some tips on how to weed intricate designs and how to apply adhesive vinyl to cardstock without tearing your card. The vinyl decal we are creating is intricate with some small parts, so I would suggest setting aside a decent amount of time to do the weeding. But I promise you the end result will be worth it. Let me show you how I did it. Here we are in Design Space. Once you have downloaded the image using the link in the description below, you need to upload it to your canvas. So click on Upload, Upload Image and Browse. And make sure you click on the JPEG, not the EPS. Only the JPEG will be compatible with the program. So there's the image. We're going to select Complex and Next. Let me zoom out to show you. Now, we need to make some edits before we continue and get this onto the canvas, because to use this as a cut file, we can't work with it as it is. We need to delete all the background. On this page, you can delete anything that is one continuous color. So what I'm going to do for now is delete all of this purple background. And then all of these details around the edges, I'll show you how to remove those once we're on the canvas. So simply by clicking on the color, the Design Space program will remove it for you. That should be good enough for now, so we will click on continue. We want to save as a cut image. Put in the correct name you want, and then click on save. You now select the image and you insert it. So there you can see the program itself has done a really good job of turning that JPEG file into a cut file. If we come in a bit closer here on this intricate detail, you can see how perfect these lines are. They'll cut really nicely. So here's our image. We only want to keep this middle section with the tealight. So I'm going to use the shape tool, take a square. I'm going to unlock it so I can resize it in any proportion to a rectangle and cover that tealight. Select both images and slice. So now I can remove the portions that we don't need. We'll actually end up with two identical copies of the tealight. You can see there. We only need one, so let's keep this one. The next thing we'll want to do is do some contouring on this tealight. As you see, there are some very small details here, and they'll just be too small for the maker to cut, and even if it manages it, it will be really difficult to weed these. When contouring, I always move the image low down on the screen, on the canvas, so that when I click contour, I can still see the original image and I can see what changes are being made as I'm contouring. Now the contour tool, if you're not familiar with it, is a really easy way to make edits to your images. When you click on one of the lines, you'll see in the image there, it turns it off, so it essentially deletes it, but it's just a more precise way of doing that. So you click on it again and it comes back. All of these little round circles, I think they're too intricate. This small sort of detail here, it won't cut nicely. So I'm going to go through the whole image and just delete anything that looks too small and intricate for the maker. Whilst I'm doing this, I'll keep an eye on the image down here to see I'm happy with how it's looking. As well as clicking on the image directly, you can select which parts to contour by clicking here on this menu at the side. Some of these circles are proving quite difficult to select directly, so I'll move them this way. If an image is grayed out, that means it's been removed, and white means it's still in the image. Looking at the image on the canvas, I'm happy with how it's looking. So I will click on the X. And here we have the image we're going to cut on the maker. The next thing we'll do is to resize this for our greetings card and add the greetings message. The first thing I always do is to create a guide. So I'll take shapes, square, and then I will resize this for the size of my greetings card. So mine is 14 centimeters by 14. And just so I get an idea of how it's going to look, I like to change the colors. So my card is a navy color. And then this is clearly too big. So keeping the lock icon on so it retains proportions, I will resize this down. Now we should zoom in a bit. Bring it to the front. Zoom in some more. I'm going to change the color to, say, this color. It's going to be cut on a gold metallic finish vinyl. And again, resize. And you can see now why it was important we did that contouring, because at the size that we're cutting, these lines do become quite small and close together. So next we will add our greetings message. Click on text, type in the message. Now I'm using the font Champagne and Limousines. This is a free font that I downloaded from dafont.com. I'll move it onto my card. Change the color. I don't quite like the size of the gap between the two words, so to fix that I will ungroup to letters. Now I'm going to hide this for a moment. Select this word and I can group this back again. And then group Diwali. And then now if I select on Diwali, and don't use the mouse but use the arrow keys on your keyboard. If you just hit the left key, you can move the letter and it will remain on the same line as the other word. If you use the mouse, you're more likely to get it out of line. It's just more hassle. So that looks okay. I will group this again. Bring back our card to see how it looks. And then you can just select everything and click on Align Center Horizontally. And there we have it. So we will hide the square, we don't need that. And select our two images and attach them. And now we will make it. So when you go to the Make It screen, you'll see it's there as one image. So that will make it easier when we do the transfer onto the card. It'll all be on one piece of transfer tape. So go ahead and cut this as normal on your Cricut machine. If you're using a Cricut Maker like me, you'll want the fine point blade for this project. So now we get to the fun part, which is weeding this design. Now, as I mentioned, it is a small and intricate design, so a couple of tips to help you to do this. I would either weed the design directly off of your cutting mat, or tape it down to your work surface to prevent it from moving around while you're working. I would also suggest using a weeding tool and a pair of tweezers to help remove those smaller parts. When applying transfer tape on top of your weeded design, I would suggest using a piece of well-loved transfer tape which has lost some of its stickiness. And if this is not possible, then take a new piece of transfer tape but peel it on and off your clothes a few times. This will help to reduce the stickiness so that when we apply the vinyl decal to the cardstock and peel back the transfer tape, it won't tear the cardstock. And definitely, whatever you do, do not use the strong grip transfer tape.
So guys, well done for making it through all that weeding. I know it wasn't easy, but I hope you agree with me that the end result is so luxurious and sumptuous that it was definitely worth it. If you're looking to add an extra touch of luxury to any gifts that you're giving this Diwali, check out these tutorials. So to those of you celebrating, happy Diwali, and until the next video, happy crafting!